Okay. Can you hear
Hey,
me?
yes. Wait. Yeah, this is all working?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I'm Angel. Um, I'm a single parent, an Army veteran. Um, I've been watching Verticals since the end of 2023. So I've seen roughly 2,100 of them. Um, and it started as something for me to like escape. It was my me time. And as I watched more, it now became what I do now. It's
Yeah.
basically a full-time job that I don't get paid for.
Well, that hopefully is in the future. I bet if you keep doing this, that seems like an inevitability. So,
Hopefully.
yeah. Well, I'm Matt.vann, born and raised in Los Angeles, and which is kind of weird actually, because whenever I used to go to auditions, people would be like, "Where are you from?" Like, here. And they're like, "No, seriously, where did you come from?" Like, no, seriously, I was born and raised here. So that's kind of unique, ironically, which I didn't realize. But um, I am I like to surf. I like to skimboard. And I've been doing acting since 2010. So I've been around for a while. Yeah, believe it or not. I'm new to the vertical world, but I've
Mhm.
been acting in commercials and television and film for a long time now. And I love it. It's one of those things where it's like you just want to keep working as much as possible, and once the one job ends, you're like, how can I get back on to another job? How do I get on set, so but yeah, that's a little bit about me. And I love this Southern California. I love acting, and I'm pretty happy with my life, I would say. Yeah.
So how did you get into acting, or how did you know you wanted to be an actor?
I've a very unique story actually. So I was on the show The Price is Right, and just a couple of friends asked if I wanted to come with them down to a screening or a showing of the Price is Right, and I was like, sure, why not? Which is really weird actually, because this will make sense later. But I had this weird feeling the night before I left. I had this like lucky bracelet, and I was like driving to my friend's house, and I had this feeling like, go back and get that bracelet. I was like, okay, whatever. So I went back. It took me maybe like 2 more minutes, and I got my bracelet. But anyways, I then we had to wait in line for like from like 3 a.m. till basically, yeah, till like 7 a.m. We waited in line for like 4 hours. And then you leave, you come back an hour later, and then you wait in line again for another hour, and then they interview you in line while you wait to go into the show, right? They interview you about like 10 people at a time. So they don't tell you if they pick you, they just interview you. And so I was the first one selected. They totally butchered my name, and it's so loud in there I didn't even know that they had picked me. So my actual full name is Matthew.vann, but they're like, Matthew.vann, come on down. And I was like, is that me? Or is there another Van Saki in here? Like, who are they talking about? So and my friends are like, I think that's you. I think that's you. Go. And so anyways, I went up, and it's so overwhelming that like it's so loud in there. Everybody's, if you see people's bewildered faces on the show, it's because it's absolutely, the decibel level must be extremely high, because you're like, you just can't hear anything. But anyways, I bid on an electric piano, and I won that. And then I had to guess the price of a trip to Maui, and then so I won that too. And then from there, once that show aired, I was contacted by an acting manager. Said, "Hey, I think you got good energy. You have a great look. Have you ever thought about doing commercials?" And I was like, you know what? I always thought I might like to do it. So I took a class at my local junior college, fell in love with it, and basically was like, yeah, this is what I want to be doing for the rest of my life. So just kind of had that spun. But anyways, back to the bracelet. Like, if I hadn't gone back and got that bracelet, that could have changed the course of time. Like,
Mm,
I wouldn't even probably be talking to you right now if I didn't go back and get that bracelet. So it's kind of crazy.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've probably seen that episode because I've seen a lot of the Prices
Oh,
Right.
really? Really? Yeah, it was a Drew Carey episode. I mean, back in like 2010. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
my grandma used to watch it all the time.
Really? Yeah. Well, if you see the confused surfer looking guy, then that was me.
Sure. Um, So how did you come across verticals? Like how did you roll? How did you land your role as Zion?
Oh yeah, that was I got lucky. That was my manager, I believe, submitted me for it. And then yeah, it was quite I mean, everything's different in the vertical world, right? So I for instance, like the callback was on like a Saturday at like 5 p.m. or something like that. And I was like, this is unique, but and I didn't expect that, so I was traveling and but I made it work. And yeah, that was how I got submitted for it. And that it's funny that you say that because I remember when I got to set, everybody's like, "Oh, how many verticals have you done?" I'm like, I didn't even know the term verticals, to be honest. I
Mhm.
was like, none, I guess. This is my first. And they're like, "Oh, welcome to the vertical world." And I'm like, what do I need? Do I need to be strapping myself in, or what's going on here? Like, what's happening? And then, yeah, I had a really good experience with that was my first one, and I had a really good experience, like from what I was told with all the other actors, like we all took it very seriously, and because of that it was just a joy to be a part of. So I had a really great experience, and I didn't realize that, I guess, the level of cheesiness or like soap opera like that they could get to. But yeah, that was a great one. Yeah.
I just rewatched it this morning because I
Oh
was like,
really?
I need something. And my my brain was like fogging, and I was like, okay, whatever, I'll just put on this. And I was like, wait, that's Matt. That's right. He's
Perfect.
in this one.
Wow. All right, you weren't just doing research. That was nice. That's great.
Um, because that was with
Van Zanten, and that's why him and I like kind of hit it off, because my last name, like I said, is actually Van Scoik. But I used to try to go when I first got into the industry. I tried to go by my whole like first name, and my manager's like, you know what? I think you should drop the Scoik and just go by Matt.vann. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna be a sellout. Are you kidding me? I'm like, my family's gonna be, disown me if I, whatever. And then I kept going to auditions, and they kept being like, looking at my name on the list, saying, Matt Vince, Matt Van, come on in. And I was like, well, it's kind of organically happening anyway, so I just decided to do it. And then when I met Elijah, I was like, all right, okay, well, see, but you just did right there. How do you say his last name? So, is it a way to remember somebody, or is it a way to forget them? I don't know.
I feel like it's a way to remember somebody because then your name is just so like unique, and you're like,
Yeah.
what?
Shoot, now I'm like second guess. Now I need to go back and change it again.
Revert everything your manager told you.
Yeah, yeah.
So you mentioned that your first one you all took very seriously. So Kirby's a bit of a prankster, or so I've heard.
Mm.
Don't know. So that she didn't pull any pranks during, I guess, the whole production. I can't just say on set because
No, you know what? I don't remember any specific pranks, but I will say I remember feeling really bad. Maybe I unintentionally pranked her, because she was prepping for a scene, and I didn't know she was prepping for the scene. And so she was going to like this very emotional, she probably won't even remember this because she was in the zone, but she was going to this very emotional place. And I just like, and nobody was around her, right? It was like break time. They're setting up the next shot. And I just saw her looking so sad. So I went over to her and I was like, she was doing such a great job that I thought it was real and authentic. And I thought like something had happened. She was just sitting by herself, so distraught and emotional. And I was like, Kirby, like, are you okay? Are you okay? Like, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? And she's like, leave me alone. Like, basically, like, I'm in the zone, kind of like, don't bother me right now, And I was like, oh crap, oops, okay, my bad. You're doing a great, whatever you're doing, keep it up, because you're doing a great job. Because I did not know that you were prepping. That's how great you were doing. So, like I said, she probably doesn't even remember that, but I was like, damn, this girl's got chops.
it's fair. Did you have an expectation when you walked on the set for the first time?
No, but I will say that I was a little surprised. I mean, I knew it was like lower budget, if you will, but I was really surprised how professional everything was. Like in the industry right now, I feel like there's a lot of mixed feelings about verticals and stuff. And I'm
Mm.
usually, when I'm talking to other friends that aren't as familiar with them, I talk very positively about them because I've just had great experiences with them. I've been treated very well on all the sets that I've been on. People have been very nice and like accommodating. And then it seems like it's, run well. I think the only thing that throws me off is how many pages of dialogue that people run through in a day. It blows my mind because on like a TV show, you might go through like 1 to 2 pages a
Mm.
day, right? But on verticals, it's like now that we might pump through 10 in this next hour. And I'm like, whoa, really? So
Like,
I,
wait.
yeah, I remember on Spoiled by Four Billionaires, there was we did this dining room scene, and it was crazy because there's all these actions that needed to happen. There's props that we were referring to with the food, and different people needed to hand certain things, and then everybody at the table had some lines, and it went on for a while. And so I just remember being like, all right, I can't screw this up because 10 other people are going to be pissed at me if I do, and the guy to my left was like, yeah, we got the pages, the lines nearby, like every time in between takes, we're looking back, frantically grabbing our lines and just trying to do our best to make sure we're not the reason that the scene ends. But yeah, just going through so many lines, I was like, it will be a miracle if we get this scene down. And we did. Like, we got it somehow, some way. I was like, woo, don't ask me to do that again, but we did it. It was crazy.
Are you talking about the fried rice scene?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then, well, there's this one, and then our dad is talking about like this Maine blue lobster, and like and just and and talking about what a delicacy it is, and he just kept like picking it up, and it was very clearly, if not even a prop lobster, and
Mm.
he's like, I'm talking about this nice lobster. He's like, this is fake. Look at how fake this is. They're gonna know, And he's like, and I'm describing how delicious. And so anytime he'd pick it up, I had to try not to laugh because I'm like, this is like the nicest lobster in the world, and this guy's basically picking up a rubber chicken, And but yeah, that was tough. But like I said, everyone was so professional that we were able to do it, which was impressive.
So, is there a specific genre that you would be interested in filming? Because you've only really done like the romance comedy, assisting billionaire brothers.
Yeah, exactly. That's I guess that's my niche. And it's so funny because uh that's who I relate to in real life, I would say is like the nice guy. I always get cast as that in other stuff before. It's like the nice brother, like I'm the nice brother, which is it's funny because it's usually like the brother to a sister too, which I don't have any sisters, but I don't know, for whatever reason I'm the nice brother to a sister. But yeah, the genres that I would love to do are period pieces. Like I saw that some of these verticals are doing period pieces, and I'm like, heck yeah, sign me up for that. That looks awesome. Like I'd done a show before where it was set in the 60s and like in New York City, and we had they gave me like a haircut on set to make my hair match the style of the time, and then specific wardrobe of the 60s, and you just feel so much better as an actor, like when you look at yourself in the mirror and you see that you fit the character, kind of just comes to life, and so yeah, a period piece would be great. Like I think his name is Casey, and he did this
Mhm.
like, period piece.
1920s.
Yeah, I was like, that looks awesome. I'm like, we're doing that in the vertical world. Sign me up. That looks great. Like yeah, that would be great to do.
Well, because I think Vietnam was a new one to me. I knew that they filmed in China. I knew
Yeah.
that they filmed in Australia.
Oh, I didn't know Australia. Wow.
There's some really talented Australian vertical stars,
Okay. Cool.
but I know they filmed in Turkey.
Wow. Okay.
They film in Canada,
Yeah, I've been to Canada. Yeah.
and then obviously LA, New York, Georgia.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't know it was as diverse as that. That's cool. I would love to go to Australia or Turkey. That's wild. So yeah, that's a great perk of doing these. I would say is getting to travel somewhere new. That's pretty
Mm.
awesome. I haven't gone to China yet, but I feel like that seems like an inevitability. But
Oh,
everybody's been going to
probably.
China, right?
As long
So
as you
yeah,
have your passport, probably.
yeah, I got mine.
Is there a role that you are opposed to doing, or like a specific trope slash genre?
Um, It just it just depends how it's done because I feel I think like the werewolf vampire ones that's different for me. I would say I like the ones that are a little more realistic and true, but I feel like with those it's so hard. I just watched Twilight again actually, and and I was just I kept thinking in my head like this could be if this wasn't done this well, it could be really bad. Like it, and and so they have a huge budget and they have great actors and great cinematography and great writing that it all worked and people are like okay I can bring this sci-fi world to reality if it's done well enough, but so that's my fear is that in those genres that it has to be done well enough otherwise it could come across as really really interesting.
I get that. I've seen some very. I don't want to say they're bad, but
Yeah,
the
I'm choosing my words wisely too, so yeah.
but I love all the verticals that I've watched for the most part.
And this is why you're an angel because you love all of them.
I think there's only like a handful that I haven't been able to finish.
Okay.
And that's just because it's like domestic violence. Because my
Yeah.
ex-husband was super abusive.
Oh shoot, yeah, I'm
So
sorry.
when I had left him is when I had found verticals. And it wasn't until recently that the more DV related ones were coming out that I was like, I can't watch this right now.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like if it's overly brutal or overly sexual, that's hard for me. Like that's probably my least favorite aspect is when it goes to like those, because I don't think it's necessary. Like the story can still be told and doesn't have to get that extreme. Maybe I'm wrong with the audience. I don't know, but that's my view on it. Is just I feel like it can still be romantic, but not be like we don't want to go too far. And then same with the brutality. It's like we can throw a couple like stunt punches in here or there, but it doesn't need to be like too brutal.
Mm. And you're not wrong. I'm in a I'm in a I just heard a random noise in my house.
Uh-oh, ghost. Me too. I have
No,
one here.
but I'm in a group, right? We're called the Vertical View Crew.
Okay.
It's me and like 7 or 8 other reviewers. Um, and that's something we talk about is the violence can be toned down,
Mm-hmm.
especially like violence towards women, because
Yeah.
I don't understand the appeal to it. But then again, as someone who's gone through it,
Yeah.
even beforehand, I'd never understood the appeal.
Yeah. I was about to say like what is what are they trying to accomplish there? I don't know.
I don't. I guess the like female lead coming back stronger, but
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I can see it, but it doesn't need to go to the extremes that it has been.
Yeah. Yeah. Like she could be, I guess, like emotionally degraded instead of like physically abused. Yeah. Yeah. It's true. That's kind of what. Sorry, just as a quick side note, that's kind of what I love with with you with your platform, and I know others with their platform. It's like we get to add a little bit of a voice to how we want this world to be shaped. And I hope that it can help mold it a little bit because yeah, it could be better, I think, than what it is now, and it seems like it is
Mhm.
evolving, obviously. So it would be cool to see it evolve to a place that everybody's very happy with.
And I know I'm not as spoken out about it because it's still kind of hard for me to like actually put out there. But like vertical drama love,
Yeah.
she's very good about it.
I've
Um,
seen that. Yeah, it's all. I feel like she's like a voice for the people. It's
oh
cool.
yeah, everybody loves her.
Yeah.
She's and then Megan, who is at Real Real Drama.
Yeah. Okay.
She is also very spoken up about it. And then so is Aline, which is I Love Verticals.
Okay. I'm starting to see all these on social media. Yeah.
I share most of them to my story.
Okay. Cool.
Anytime you see a story that's tagged like "Love my vertical view crew," the people that I tag is my fellow reviewers in the group.
Okay. Cool.
But they're all really good about like posting and not caring, and I'm just like, I'm still trying to build.
You'll get there.
But I'm being more spoken out and not editing out as much in my videos,
Nice.
which is great. But they're they're really good at speaking up for stars and viewers,
Hmm.
like things they don't want to see.
That's cool. I like that. We need that.
Is there an actor, like one top actor and actress in the vertical space that you would work and want to work with, like dream co-star?
Oh, dream. Oh, and this is in the vertical space, right? You said, yeah. Um, is it someone I've already worked? Can it be someone I already worked with, or you're saying someone I'd like to work with that I haven't worked with? Because I have both.
Someone you have. Okay, we'll start with someone you haven't worked with that you
Okay.
would like to work with.
I met this guy. Kirby had a birthday party the other day, and I think his name is Steven Marana or
Steven
Marana.
Morana. I love
Yeah.
Steven.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I talked to him for just a quick bit, but I'm just like, this guy seems really like down to earth and real and cool. And I'd seen his face on different social media stuff, and I was like, yeah, I feel like I haven't worked with him before. I'd like to work with someone like that because you know the I mean, newsflash, not every actor, has some people's egos can, get elevated from time to time, but he just seemed like I'm like, oh, I've seen this dude all over the place, and he just seemed like very real and down to earth. So I think I'd like to. You said Steven Marana?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's, and then as far as people I've already worked with, shoot, honestly, this is hard because I've had a lot of good experiences. So like everybody that I worked with on Swelled by Four Billionaires, I would love to work with again. They were like the whole cast was awesome. And then Sam Najad, I would love to work with him again because he's just a really uh nice giving person, and he's always kind of looking out for everybody else. And I remember the I was just thinking about it right before this actually too, because I wanted to kind of loosen up, so I was like stretching, and I remember back on set, Sam was like, he's like, I had to do like a shirtless scene or something like that, and I was like, I'm freezing, I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be obvious that I'm cold. He's like, hey, he like calmed me down. He's like, it's okay, and I'm like, I'm like, oh really? Why? He goes, it's gonna make your muscles pop more if you're cold. He's like, it's a good thing. I was like, thanks, Sam. Thanks, man. So yeah, he's awesome. He's a good friend.
Is there an actress?
Yeah, I mean Kirby like really impressed me. I just feel like I guess when I was explaining that story earlier, um, her and Mary Foster are just like they both. I feel like just can take so many lines. That's I think one of the biggest difficulties with verticals. They take so many lines and keep them grounded and believable, and it's really impressive to watch. And so I'd love to work with them again. It's so easy to do scenes with them because you know that they're going to come fully prepared. Um, Other than that, as far as actresses I haven't worked with, um, her friend Casey, she seemed really cool. I don't. I'm blanking on her last name.
Oh,
Do you remember her last name?
not the moment.
Oh shoot, I think it's like it starts with an S. I know that.
Schreer?
Yeah, Streer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And so again, she just seemed. I know she'd done a bunch of verticals, and she seemed really nice. I like working with nice people. That's I think
Mm.
like. Can you act and are you nice? Okay, I'd love to work with you.
That's fair. So talking about She Returns with Triplets.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you know that's where I immediately like, this is someone that needs to be bigger because
Yeah.
of, I don't remember what scene it was right now. I think it's when you go to save your sister and the kids.
Yeah,
I'm just
Kelsey.
like,
Yeah.
perfect. That's what we need.
Yeah.
What was that set like?
Oh, I mean, it was great. It's funny because my again, it was very professional because my roommate is an editor and videographer actually, and he told me to take some pictures while I was on set because he was interested in the type of equipment that they were using, and I sent him some of the lighting and camera stuff, and he was I remember him being like very impressed,
Mm-hmm.
and but that set was cool. I met Aaron on that set, and I don't know what it is. I think a lot of these vertical actors are surfers like me because Aaron's a surfer, and so we talked surfing, and then Elijah is a surfer, so we talked surfing. But that was cool. That was my first time meeting Adam Santa Cruz
Mm-hmm.
and Kelsey, and that's when it hit me that wow, so many people have done so many of these. Like I had no idea. I remember I asked Kelsey, this was like a year ago now, but I
Mm-hmm.
said like, oh, how many I was asking everybody how many verticals that they'd done, and she'd already done like 22 or something like that. And I was like, what? Like how do you do that much? And it's just like you just kind of go from one to the next, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then and same with Adam. Adam had already done like a bunch, and that was cool. It was great meeting Adam actually because he went to the college that's in my hometown in Thousand Oaks,
Mm-hmm.
and so we had a lot to talk about as far as like different food spots around town or like fun things to do and just the university in general. But that was great. Liang was my director. I don't know if you know Liang, but she is awesome. Like there's nothing that she's like she cares about the actors. She's very professional. Um and she just does a great job, and she can keep this like breakneck pace to her directing, which was really impressive to watch. But and then her husband Joshua Snyder was there, and he was on the last set too. And yeah, that the set was just like very fun, relaxed. Um, I remember I had one interesting moment though with Aaron that was before I like really got to know him. I don't know if he was meditating or what, but I went out by the pool and I just like went. It was nighttime, and I was like sitting down, checking my phone, and I didn't even realize Aaron was like just standing there, and he was just like had his eyes closed, and I think he was meditating or something. But I didn't even notice him for like 10 minutes, and then I realized this dude has been standing out here the whole time, standing up with his eyes closed. And then eventually, I think we like said hi to each other and got to know each other. But at first, I was like, I need to learn this guy's meditation technique because he's on a sick one right now.
Mm. I don't think I've had the pleasure of talking to Aaron yet. Um,
You
I've
should.
talked
He's a cool
a
guy.
little bit to Adam.
Yeah.
Kelsey, I actually interviewed her and her husband.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super fun. Um, I'm trying to think of everyone else. Elijah agreed to do it, but obviously he's busy. They're all
Yeah,
busy.
I'm like, dude, I keep DMing this guy, like, how are you doing? Like, he's just going, I swear, he's like, just finished day 7. And then the next day, we're like, day 1. I'm like, what the heck, man? How are you doing this? And there's so many lines. That's what impresses me is like these people that are doing it off like little to no sleep. And then they have like 10 pages. I'm like, dude, I need my sleep, and I need like with memorizing, it does memorizing, I can do it, but I need time to do it, and like for me, as far as my acting technique, I really need to like grind the lines really well and for a while before I can do a good performance.
Mhm.
And some people are just like they look at it once. I have a friend with a photographic memory. I'm so jealous. He literally will just be like, pick up the page, look at it for a sec, and be like, okay, let's go. And I'm like, what? That was 5 seconds. And he's like, I
Mhm.
got it. And he does, and he gets it. And I'm just like, all right, I'm jealous. That's amazing. I wish I had that. There's some weird people. There's some weird actors with like gifts like that they're made for the business. Like I don't know if you've heard of people that have like they like don't forget anything. Like they
Mm,
have this like memory thing where they're like terrible forgetters. So they remember like if you ask them something that happened 30 years ago on that, like they'll be like August 16th, 1972. And they're like, oh, I woke up and I had scrambled eggs for breakfast. I was wearing my red blouse, blah, 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 and they know like everything, about the whole day.
mm.
And there's like a bunch of actors, like producers, directors that have some weird gifts like that it sucks for them as far as relationships in life. Because if you sometimes you want to forget some things, but as far as like in the industry, it's a great gift. So like I would, yeah, I need some ginkgo biloba or something for my memory.
Some magical potion or something.
Yeah, exactly.
What advice would you give somebody who is trying to become an actor and actress?
Ooh, there's a lot of cliches that are thrown out there, and I don't know if they're all true. Like people will say, um, you know, do you gotta want this more than you want to live? You know, and I don't know about that. Like some people give this analogy, like, yeah, it's like when you're going underwater, if you're getting held underwater and you need to live, like you'll fight to make yourself breathe and live. You gotta want it as bad as that. I'm
Mhm.
like, eh, I don't know if it just needs to be life or death, like I want to enjoy this and I don't want it to be life or death, so advice that I would give to somebody like that's just fresh new to acting, I would say definitely take classes. That's where I gain, like I'm a big proponent of always staying in classrooms. Like I more recently haven't been in classes, but that wasn't even by choice. Like I was taking, I mean, since that junior college class that I was telling you about, my first class, I've been taking classes ever since, basically, for like the last 15 years. I took a Meisner technique class for 10 plus years. And even still, like my acting teacher moved to London, and I was still trying to like take classes with him. We tried to do it over Zoom. It just kind of it got a little messy, doing a class like virtually like that. But we did it for a while still. We did for like a year or two. And then I had another teacher out here too. Her name was Sarah Woods, and her daughter's actually Evan Rachel Woods. So she's been in the industry for a long time, and she was my teacher for a long time until she moved across the country. So it's like I I I feel like it's like people will say the analogy of going to the gym. It's like if you're not progressing, you're going the opposite direction. And I would love to get back into some class. You know, they can be a little expensive. So I had I liked the classes I had before because there were good teachers that I knew I could trust that weren't trying to like price gouge. But anyways, that's neither here nor here there. I would just say like take classes and meet people in those classes and make connections. And then it's so much more accessible than ever before, like independently. And what I mean by that is like everyone has like great, I'm doing this on my phone right now. This is how I shoot my auditions too, is just via my phone. Like you can self tape and self submit by yourself, and like so much more accessibility for you. Like on Actors Access you could go on there and see all these verticals that you could just submit right now without an agent or a manager, you know what I mean? And um but you want to be confident in there that like you're doing your best work, and then two, when you get to set, that you're feel good about yourself. So that's why I say take classes, do classes, put yourself in uncomfortable positions, do a show. I did this show one time called the LA Cafe Plays that I don't know if I'll ever do again because it was like the most terrifying thing I've ever done. But I am so glad and proud that I did it. It was my old acting teacher had set up these things called the LA Cafe Plays. They're done at the Ruskin Group Theater down in Santa Monica. And what they do is they basically get 10 actors, five writers, and then you have a theme for the day. And they tell you everything on the day. So the writers get in at like 8 in the morning and they write a 10-page scene just based off a theme and then 2 headshots that they have of the actors. That's it. That's all they have, right? So they know they have this guy and this girl, and this is the theme, and they need to write 10 pages worth. So they do that for like, they write it in 2 hours, right? Then the actors get there at 10 a.m. and we get paired with a random director. And then that director works with us from like 10 a.m. till like 5 p.m. So we're running our lines, we're running blocking, we're running tech, all before we perform at 7 p.m. that night, and then at 9 p.m. again that night. And it was the most like, it's kind of guerrilla warfare. Like you're just trying to remember your lines, you know. But then the veterans of this practice would, they'd be giving great performances on top of it. But
Mhm.
I was just trying to survive, you know, like I was just like, make sure I don't make a fool of myself and remember my, I mean, I was so nervous before I went on. I had like an out of body experience. Like I was sitting and I was watching the monitor of like the actors before me and them doing their scene. And I remember just like getting so nervous watching them. And then I was like, oh crap, like I'm about to go on. Wait, what's my first line? What's my first line? What's my first line? And I was freaking out and I'm like, just remember your first line and then hopefully the rest will come. And then so luckily I was able to do it, no snags. It wasn't my best acting, but I got through it and I did 2 performances and yeah, so stuff like that, like anything that kind of pushes you out of your comfort zone that's going to make you grow as an artist, I would highly recommend that.
Okay, noted. What What do you like most about being in verticals and how it relates to like the fans and the fan community?
Well, I think it's been just only positivity, which is great. Like between your platform and other people's platform, and then different people that will DM me, it's great. Like I had a couple people reach out and just say, you know, they really enjoyed me and that they liked my work, and I was, you know, my first thing is like, oh, and once I acknowledge this, are they gonna want something else? It's like, and I was just, oh, thank you so much. And it's like they didn't even follow me; they just wanted to let me know. And I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, it just showed me like they just wanted to give a good compliment, and it was nice. And I haven't had any like negative interactions with it yet, which is great. It just seems like I was saying before, the fans are either having a platform or just watching and are avid fans that care and that are being really positive. You know, because I did tell me I kind of been telling myself like, okay, there's going to come a time probably where there's going to be negative feedback out there, you know, like I worked at a restaurant and there's, you know, negative Yelp reviews, you know, out there. And so my thought process is usually I'm like, I don't want to acknowledge them because then it's going to get in my head, you know what I mean? But so like I was really scared when I first started getting like DMs about stuff. I was like, uh-oh, what if someone's gonna be like, you sucked, you were terrible, you know, why were you in this, whatever. And then happy to say it's only been positive so far, so I'm very happy and yeah, I'm excited to, I don't know, it's cool. I've seen different people do like, I saw like Casey did like a fan meetup in like the Philippines or something like that, and I was like, whoa, well, like this is, I didn't realize that this is the level that it, you know, that it's at, you know, and so which is pretty cool. I had no idea. I just kind of thought, I'm like, this is some fun work to be a part of, and I'm happy to be a part of the journey, you know?
Like, just some little thing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's a whole world out here.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's honestly, I'm continuing to peel back layers because I'm relatively new to it. This is,
Hmm.
I think I've only done 4, and then I actually, luckily, I'm going to be in a very small part, but I'm going to do one next week. But yeah, it's so like 4 or 5, you know. So like compared to the Kelseys of the world and Adams that are doing 22, and they're probably up to like, that was a year ago, so they're probably up to like 30 to 40 now, I would assume, you know.
I think
And
Casey has hit, I think he's hit like 40 at least.
wow, yeah.
I, th-
So
I
there
think
you go.
Eric's at like 30 something.
That's wild. I mean, it's so new still. I'm just excited to kind of watch it evolve and see what it turns into because it seems like between expanding, like diversifying the genres and the locations, like it just seems like it's getting better and better. And I heard recently someone was telling me like Netflix just like purchased some like vertical stuff, and so they're going to be putting it on their platform, and different producers that I've talked with, like where I've been able to kind of, by grab their ear and just be like, where do you think this is headed, and they're all like, this is only going to just keep getting bigger and bigger. Like this is that. I've had like one guy like sit me down and be like, this is where it's at, and this is where it started, and this is where it's already at, and it's just gonna, by like in 4 years, this is where we anticipate it being,
Mhm.
and so I'm like, well, I want to be a part of that ride, so yeah. So thank you for having me, by the way.
Of course. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
But some of the bigger ones, there's like Eric Taylor Gilmet, Jeff Violet, obviously Adam.
Yeah.
Adam and Eric just did Campus Rivals. They just
Yeah,
produced.
that looked cool. I'm like, dude, I wish I was a part of that. I used to always get cast as like the frat guy, so
Mhm.
I'm like, damn, I would have been perfect for this, but yeah, whatever.
Part two.
Yeah, part two. There you go.
Then I am spacing on everyone. There's Casey and Noah, Jackson Tiller,
Yep.
Sam
These are
Myers.
these are all the heavy hitters, right?
These are all like
The big names.
people's favorites. I can't
Ah.
have a favorite because that's too difficult.
Good. You're like the you're like the neutral mom in this situation, Like you can't have a favorite.
I enjoy because everybody does something different that makes them unique and stand out.
I love that.
Jake Hobbs and Jesse Morales, Mark Vega. I could go on for hours on that. I probably should stop. But that's some of like the bigger guy.
What about Arno? I just watched your interview with him.
Yeah.
You seem
Oh,
like a nice guy.
thanks.
Yeah.
Arno's been in a few. He's mostly worked with was it Candy Jar? Yeah.
Okay.
Candy Jar. And Candy Jar, all of their stories come from books.
Oh, cool. I like that. Yeah.
And then I've also interviewed Steven.
Yeah.
That was my first interview I posted.
Let him know I want to work with him.
Oh, I will. I'll let him know.
Thanks.
Ben and Kelsey, Casey Esser, Brittany Marziek. I think that's how you say her last name. I don't know. I've been Autumn Noel. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. It's getting real hard.
You're good. There was a blonde girl I just saw you also interviewed. Or wait, was it you? Shoot. But she's going to she's part of my same acting agency, Avalon Artist Group, and so I was like, oh, maybe. Sorry, I saw an interview and I thought it was you. Maybe it was one of your compadres.
Maya.
Maya, yes,
Yeah. Maya's super sweet.
Yeah.
She was a hoot and a holler to chat with.
Nice. You were just naming all your favorites though, right?
Not my favorites. No, they're just the big.
Oh, that's right. You don't have favorites.
I don't have favorites. I can't have
right.
favorites. When I started, I had favorites.
Yeah.
When I started my review page, it was like, yeah, I will watch. When I started, I have to make sure I say started because people don't think I have favorites now because I don't.
Don't nobody edit this part right here.
Right? Now I have a list of over like 200 people that I just try and keep up with their verticals.
No, that's so awesome. Thank you, because hey, the little people are appreciative. I'll say it.
And that's why I was like, okay, I'll interview Steven because Steven's been in. I think his fourth one's coming out sometime this month.
Awesome.
Oh,
he's new to the game too?
Mm-hmm.
My man.
Yeah, he's done 3.
Nice.
One of them is called Red Talons.
Okay.
It's like the werewolf one.
Yeah.
And
he did a mafia one, right?
Yeah, because I'm pushing for number 2 on that one.
Yeah.
So what is a quote or saying that you like to live by?
happiness is a choice. It's a kind of weird quote, but it's like a mantra and a reminder. But that's something I like to live by. Like if it, everybody has like different backgrounds or things that have happened to them in their life, different like trauma, and some people are able to break through that and have a happy life still, and some people just kind of decide like, no, I'm not gonna have, my life's screwed up, like I can't, and so I try to remind myself that happiness is a choice, that like no matter kind of your situation, that you can find ways to like be grateful and happy no matter what's going on in your life. So that's something I try to live by.
If you were a drink, what would you be?
A drink, that's interesting because I don't really drink, so
It
I would.
doesn't have to be alcoholic. I
I
probably should add this into the question because
no.
that's where everybody immediately
Oh
goes.
shoot, no, but I was thinking a mocktail. Like I'm a sugar fiend. Like literally, I was drinking this root beer while we were, having this interview, and so I'd probably be some sort of if you were to take like a non-alcoholic pina colada, like something that's like blended, icy, refreshing, but tons of sugar with
Mhm.
some pineapple and coconut. That sounds. I mean, I was in Cabo in April, and that's like what I ordered every day. There was just like I'm like skiing alcohol, no alcohol, but
Mhm.
a pina colada, and I just was, as soon as I'd finish, like go halfway through in one, I'd be like, "Can I get another one of these?" Like I would just gulp it down. Like I loved it. So yeah, I think that'd be me in a drink probably.
Okay. God, everybody just immediately goes to alcohol, and I'm like, man, maybe I should start putting it doesn't have to be alcohol at the end of the question.
Well, I mean, I also bartend, so like there's you can get creative with different alcoholic drinks. It's just something I don't relate to as much, but there are a lot of like really interesting. Like my favorite drink to make would probably be why am I blanking on the name right now? It's shoot, totally blanking on it. I can tell you the ingredients, but I'm blanking on the actual name. It's oh, a lemon drop martini. That's like
Mm.
my favorite drink to make because it's got a bunch of ingredients that I love, like anything with lemon in it, because it's, I love like that fruity, tarty, and then you mix in like Sprite and some simple syrup, and so you get like the sugary aspect with it, and then I like making the little lemon twist that I put on there. So that would probably be, if as a drinker, that would probably be my go, would be the lemon drop martini.
You said you currently bartend?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Oh man, see now I gotta come get a drink made by you when I go
There you
down.
go. Yeah, I'm not like there's some places like make really high end. I'm not like putting smoke over the drink or anything.
Like lightning on fire, you're
Yeah,
like
exactly. Like,
dry
hey, watch
ice.
watch this. I'm gonna burn this thing, it's gonna evaporate, and then here's your drink now.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for me as a consumer or as a vertical reviewer?
Oh yeah. I
As
guess
many as you would like.
what do you, yeah, I like that. Thank you. And what do you enjoy seeing from, I guess, because you're kind of in this in between world. You're a viewer, but you're also connected to the actors. So you're kind of in the middle, I would say, as far as like perspective goes. So do you have like, especially when you see actors m- in other projects, like after you've seen them once, what do you find yourself getting attached to previous characters that they've had, and then so when they're acting maybe a little bit different, does that disappoint you, or are you excited to see their range?
I'm excited to see the range. I really enjoy when I'm able to decipher. If you're doing one thing consistently, like you're constantly being an alpha, then you just have that. Or you're constantly being a doctor. Or I don't want to say billionaire CEOs because they always add like flares into that. But like constantly being an alpha, constantly being, the one villain who only wants revenge and tries to kill
Hmm.
said ex-wife, right? I don't get to see the range that I would like to from an actor, especially if I like one of their pieces. I was telling Richard Shara this. I had saw a clip for one of his that he was in. And so I went and I looked him up on IMDb, and it wasn't his first vertical. So if I like you or I like the scene that I've seen, I will immediately go to your IMDb and I will go find that first vertical that you are in, and I will start watching your work from there.
Oh, sweet.
So, like, if you get added to my list, I'm watching everything,
I love it.
beginning to current, and I will not go out of order unless it's something that, like, I've seen it, I saw an ad for, and I was really excited. Then I'll watch, if I'm on like vertical 3 out of 12 and 13 comes out, I'll watch 13 and then I'll go back to 3.
There you go. Cool. Oh, I appreciate that for sure. And then also, what are genres? How do you want to see the vertical world, evolve? Like, what I'm sure you've probably already thought about this. Like, what are genres that you want to see? What are genres that you would care to not see as much? I kind of already got a sense of that, but then also, like, where do you want to see? What genres would you like to see more of? And where do you want to see verticals go as a whole? Like, what's the pinnacle with verticals?
Mm-hmm. Um, so the easiest part of this question, right, out of all thing you said,
Yeah,
is, like I said, less violence. I don't care if it's towards men, towards women, less drugging of the drink. You can get romance and things without that,
yeah,
which they've done away with for the most part. There's still some out there, which is, you're not going to get rid of them overnight. Um, but what do I like? I like the slow burn romances, the intentional rom coms are some of my favorite. Um, where do I think it could go? I, I don't know. It can go far. I know that
yeah.
for sure.
Right?
I think if they started expanding into like pure comedies, horrors, thrillers, because I know not Netflix, real short, too many apps. Um, they kind of dip their toe in the water with thrillers, with I Am Bloody Mary.
Mm.
And I think that went really well. I haven't checked the views on it lately, but if vertical companies were to start putting out horrors and thrillers, I think they'd get a whole either new audience, or the audience that it currently has is just going to love it more and talk about it more.
Yeah, that's actually interesting that you say that because I'm surprised that it's not already been going on because typically those are the easier stories to make.
Mm-hmm.
Like if as far as like I know, like student films and stuff like that, horror movies were always like, let's make a horror movie because you don't need a huge budget necessarily. You just need to have like a compelling story and decent acting, and then you can create creative shots and stuff like that. And it's usually in the dark and whatever, so like I feel like that's inevitable, right?
Mm-hmm.
With what you're talking about. So that'd be cool.
I think there's more to expand, and then they can go further with horror and thrillers than
Yeah.
they realize.
Like that. Yeah, I think you're totally right. And I think it's just going to keep growing. That's why I think it's exciting to be a part of it in any fashion that we are, and just because I think it's going to keep growing, evolving, expanding, and it seems like it's only going to get better and better. So that's really exciting to be a part of. You feel like we're on the ground floor. Like I'm sure you've heard of like Quibi. Have you heard of Quibi before?
Mm-hmm.
Like they say that was kind of like ahead of its time because it was kind of doing this already, but it was doing it, I think in like 5 6 years ago or something, and it didn't really catch on. And now these are catching on big time, and it just was like ahead of its time. So, um, Yeah, that's really awesome. I like. I'm excited for where it's all gonna head. Yeah.
I'm very excited. You guys, I'd say just had the fires, but it's been a little bit. But
Well, I guess that like yeah, the fires didn't just happen, but I mean, shoot, we're gonna be feeling the effects of it for a while for sure, especially when like family and friends that were close by. You know.
something I enjoy about the vertical community is that when these were happening, I had people reaching out to me about vertical actors. Like, hey, have you heard? Are they safe?
Oh,
Like, just enjoy how much we care. Because
that's
while
cool.
we're not a super small community, we're also not as big as like Hollywood community.
Right, right, right. Yeah, it's still relatively niche compared to the Hollywood community, but that's why I think it's stronger in a way because it's not just like this massive community. It's like very specific verticals that are happening with you know, you said you have your peer of what, 8 people in your peer group that is like
My
so
review, my vertical
you're,
view crew.
there you go. You guys should come up with a name. What do you the I don't
We're
know.
we're the vertical view crew.
Oh, Vertical View Crew. Okay,
Look,
sorry.
it's
I thought
got
you said Vertical View Group. So
oh, um, it's got me, obviously. You know my page. Um, it's got real drama. Her name is Megan. It's got Aline. I love verticals. She also runs Vertalis. It's called Visit Vertalis. It's this world. I love telling people about this because it's my favorite thing in the world. Um, it's this vertical world that she's created, and she has an Instagram page for it. It's called Vertalis. And so, like, she takes actors. Like, she took um, Cayman, and they're like Pokemon evolutions of Cayman. So, like, K Baby is the starter evolution. It's like,
oh, okay.
and then there's like K Bear and K Wolf, and it goes on. And she's got platforms, which are her version of platforms. She's got different like countries.
Cool.
It's so she even created merch for the thing. Like
Oh, that's cool.
it's insane. She's so talented. She's the one. My profile picture, how there's the person in the middle.
You
She
made that?
created that chibi
Oh,
of.
I was wondering how like everybody kept getting these like animated versions of themselves. That's
Mhm.
cool.
So she made that version of me, along with a couple other versions. There's Dahlia, Vertical Films Lover 13. There's Empress Liz, who is Portrait Story Diaries.
Okay.
You have Kay, Short Reel Critic. You have Sarah, which is Escapism via Verticals. She just
Yeah.
started her 5-minute escapes.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay.
Yes.
Those are cool.
This Vertical Slaps is
That's,
someone else that's in there.
okay.
And they berate theirs on like a slapping scale
Cool.
of 1 through 5, which is super cool.
Slap being a good thing.
And then and then you have Hero, which is vertical_fan.
Cool.
And we're all reviewers. We talk about verticals that are coming out, and things that we would like to see change, and other random things. But if I wouldn't have started this page, I wouldn't have ever met them.
There you go.
And
Exactly.
I've made some really good friends, not only on my review page, but on Sam's fandom page, because I run Sam Meyerson fandom, and then I run Jake Hobbs' fandom.
Cool. I like it.
I've
It's
met really great people.
it's hard. It's hard work. I know a little bit because I created for fun like I got injured last year and then so I was bored and I wanted to still like be doing something with my friends that skimboard and I actually created this page called Malibu Skim and we just basically focus on different skimboarders in the area and some of the good waves that we have and we created the like you know t-shirts and the stickers and stuff so it's just a fun thing to do, and I know it's like it's funny sometimes. I'm like, dang, I'm doing like I'm not getting paid for this, and you know, some people will be like, you need to put more work into this, this, and this. I'm like, all right, this is for fun, you know. So, so this is I'll do it when I have time, but you know, you gotta. It is a lot of work still to build it, as I'm sure you know.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's another thing that I like hope to get when I go to LA. I just kind of get the Vertical View crew and my name out there
Cool.
so that more people.
Like the way I view it is like as the vertical world evolves, obviously so will you guys, and then if you can keep that core tight, like people will there's gonna be so much exposure, you know,
Mhm.
and then people are gonna want to partner with you, and then you know everything will get scaled up, and then yeah, that's why I think it's awesome what you're doing. I think hopefully we're all on the cutting edge floor of something really big, you know.
Hopefully. I'm sure we are. I mean,
Yeah.
and then everyone has their different versions. Like Vertical Drama Queen, she does Tuesday Takeover.
Mm,
Um, and so it's the whole Tuesday. Everything she posts is about that person.
that's cool. Yeah.
Um, and then I Love Verticals does a get to know. It's just one post, but it's get to know you. It's like, what's your favorite Pokemon? What's your favorite if you were a movie?
Say,
And
what's your favorite Pokemon?
yeah,
Oh, cool. Okay, I didn't expect that.
it's like, what's your favorite Pokemon? If you were a movie, you know, if you could be your co-star for a day, who would you be? And she's the one that makes the chibi edits. So
Mm.
with your get to know, like get to know Matt.vann, she'll make a chibi edit out of your photos,
Oh, so
and
cool.
it'll be with the post.
That's
Um,
awesome.
Meg or Sarah does her 5-minute escapes. She just started, which is I think amazing.
Yeah, I saw that. It looks good.
Um, let's see. I'm trying to remember what everyone does. Megan she does like vertical guides. So she just did one on a guide on talking to actors, trying to get them ready for VertFest.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny because like there's one of them, like the second slide, it says bought one-on-one or meet and greet tickets to meet the vertical actor of your dreams at VertFest or Verticon, and then instantly deflate into a full panic spiral because suddenly your brain is like, what do I wear? Do I bow? What if my voice cracks? Should I bring snacks? What if I call them by their character's name? Oh no, what if I black out and propose marriage? Take a deep breath. I got you.
I like
And
it.
like first snap out of it, she gives them tips. She did Mafia Week, which the whole week she just talked about mafia verticals, mafia dons or donnas. I don't remember what Dahlia. She does reviews and she does her birthday posts are always like, "What's today's day?" And it'll be like, for my birthday, it was I don't even know. It was like Angel's birthday, National Donut Day, like this, and this.
Oh, cool.
Liz does. No, everyone does something different. Like Liz, her reviews are all collages
Okay.
of the vertical.
Yeah, I've seen that one, I think. Yeah. That's cool.
Um,
Everyone
Katya,
does the little, yeah, has their own little
yeah,
take on it.
Katya just does a different, like the poster picture, and she edits it a little bit.
Cool.
Um, I don't know what Hero does. Oh, Hero does the weekly top tens. He does a he'll do a post for weekly top tens. He'll do new releases. He'll do monthly top tens. He'll do app views or ratings. He's all about like what is the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. Like talking about it.
Expressing themselves. Enunciating,
No,
communicating,
it's basically when you see like an ad.
elaborating. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
I'm trying to
Trying to
elaborate.
elaborate. Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Oh well. He's all about. It's really gonna piss me off that I can't think of this word.
So what you're saying when you try to see an ad, you what?
Like when you see an ad or the actors are talking about their vertical coming out. They're
Oh, promoting.
promoting.
Yeah, yeah,
Lord.
yeah,
I knew it was pro something. I just couldn't
yeah.
remember. He's all about promoting like new verticals that are coming out or the
Cool.
top verticals of the month or week. Hero's really cool. Do you have any other questions for me?
But yeah, sorry, I don't know how long your interviews are normally. I've just been enjoying myself, but
What have you enjoyed the most about working on vertical set compared to like your commercials?
um, well, commercials, I feel like there's more creativity with verticals, and there's more like flexibility and because you are going so fast and there is so much dialogue, there's a little bit more free reign as far as um your free reign to just be more creative. There's you can be a little bit more collaborative with the director, like with your lines. You can kind of adjust them a little bit, where I feel like with commercials it's kind of just like you're selling a product, and it's just like, come here, stand here, move like this, and smile, and then okay, and then you know what I mean. It's just like we're gonna have you smile in many different areas. You know what I mean? Like that's what commercials are like, and you definitely feel like you're selling a product, but you're trying to do it as naturally as you can, and it's not as creatively or artistically fulfilling. Where I feel like verticals, like I said, I've just had great experiences so far, and there's been a lot of free reign to just do what I like with it. Like
Mhm.
I've kind of tested the waters a little bit, or where I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna just change up this line. I'm gonna do this thing or this thing on this, and I'm waiting for the director to be like, smack my wrist or something and be like, what are you doing? That never happens. So I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, all right, so we can push a little bit and do what we want. And so I think that's my, especially coming from commercials, or and there's like a little bit more. Again, I've on other TV show sets that I've been on, like compared to a verticals, there's not, it doesn't feel as pressureful, like it doesn't, we're not making like a Martin Scorsese movie, so it's like it's it seems like it's a lot more relaxed, and because of that, it's like the vibe on set is so fun, and it's people still want to make sure they're doing good work, but you're not like killing yourself. You're just like, how can I want to make this believable but fun and entertaining, and so that's what I think I like. It's just there's very little negative aspects to it.
Mhm.
That's what I would say. Yeah.
Okay. I've heard that verticals are a lot of fun. One
Yeah,
day, I've I keep putting out there because I'm like, one day it'll happen.
it will for sure.
Is like if they ever want to do a military vertical, I will come consult
There you
as a
go.
veteran. I will gladly come consult.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like and when I've been on sets, there've been people there with no acting experience or anything, that they will have like smaller speaking roles and stuff. So like, especially if you have some sort of experience, or if they start going military, which feels like they're going to for sure, like yeah, you'll be a shoe in that. And like it'll be great to just to get on set anytime. For me, like one time I did this commercial where we got there at 10 a.m., and
Mhm.
then we didn't start shooting like till 10 p.m. at night. And I remember being like, all the other actors were like, "Oh, this is ridiculous," like we had to wait 12 hours, and then we went till like 3 in the morning actually. And I was like, I was the only one that was still like, "Hey, I'm just happy to be on." I was still smiling. I'm like, "I'm happy to be on set," and everybody else was like, "This is ridiculous." And I'm like, "Hey, we get to act and do what we love, and we're getting paid for it.
Mhm.
So shut up, you know. But um, that's yeah. I think like anytime you can get on set, it's a I don't know. I treat it like a blessing, a gift, you know.
With Spoiled by Four Billionaires and She Returns with Triplets, that one was hard to watch because I had to save coins because there's not a whole lot on that app that I
Oh,
want, like I have interest in watching.
yeah,
I was like, man, it's gonna take me a minute to watch this.
yeah, yeah.
What? How do I say this? Night shoot, because I don't think there's a whole lot of night scenes in Spoiled by Four Billionaires.
No, we were inside for a majority of it. So, I mean, we worked into the night, but there was a bar scene. I remember that, and then which was at nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there wasn't a lot of like I don't remember night like shooting outside at night. It was just because so you kind of get disoriented because at a certain point they're if it's like if they need it to be nighttime, they're blocking out the lights in the window, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
it's even though it's 12 in the afternoon and vice versa, like if they need it to be daytime and it's nighttime, they're shining in huge lights that make it feel like daylight. So you kind of like you're inside, you kind of you kind of forget what time it is in reality after a while because you're either like what's the reality of the scene? Is it nighttime here? Okay. Well, it's nighttime now for me. Or like it's daytime. Okay, great. That's the sun right there, that big light that's shining in my face. So yeah, it's you just kinda but yeah, there wasn't too many I don't know, remember nighttime scenes. No, majority of it happened during the day. Yeah, especially there's like wedding scene and that. Yeah, so it's all during the day
I
mainly.
know She Returns with Triplets. There's one scene where I think it's you. You come outside looking for your sister
Yeah,
in the car.
yeah.
That looked like, now I have to say, it looked like it was at night.
So that was at night. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. That that was tough. That was a fun scene to shoot though because there was like a lot of technical aspects to it. So
Mm-hmm.
for instance, like I had to walk out of the door and then I had to like, I had to peer around and everything was like calculated as far as timing goes because I needed to line up to where the camera lined up and I couldn't see Kelsey beforehand before I got to her, So and I want to make it believable. So I don't want to see her and be pretending to still look around. So so I'm timing it out in my head. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be here for a couple beats, look around, okay, and then oh wait, what's that? Is that and then like started walking towards her and then I just she was just like, oh, like hiding, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
so hey, what's going on? But anyway, so that one was that night. Yeah, that was a fun scene. Aaron was there too, I believe. Yeah, on that scene
I think
too.
so.
Yeah.
Where I was going with this, right, was what so far, what has been like the longest that you've been on set?
In I mean, it might have been that commercial that I was talking about. Oh, you talking about for Vertical
Yes,
specifically?
vertical set.
Oh, shoot. Probably. I feel like I've gotten there at like 7 a.m. and not left till 11 p.m. or something like that before, or like it's just like sometimes well, maybe that's why you mentioned the night scenes. Yeah, because sometimes, right, you're at the mercy of like the light and where it's at and so you have to wait for it to get dark sometimes if they can't lighten it the correct way. So yeah, it's like, and then if they're having technical issues, you got to, and they're on a quick. I mean, you know how fast they film all these things, right? So
Yeah.
it's like they're not like, oh, we're gonna do this tomorrow. I mean, sometimes they have to, but most of the time they're like, no, we're gonna make it happen now. And if they have any technical issues they have to work through, then you're sitting waiting. And yeah, I would say I don't know, like yeah, 14 plus hours or something like that. Yeah. What have other people said?
I think someone once told me like 16, 17 hours, and I was like, that's insane. Wait.
Yeah, no. I mean, I might I definitely around that time or like a little less. But I mean, to be honest, I've done like 48-hour film festivals before, so it's like those ones you just You just go 2 days straight. It's crazy.
I don't think it'd be a problem with me pulling 24-hour shifts in the Army. So,
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Okay. So if you don't have any other questions,
I
I
think I'm
can't.
good.
If you don't know who Matt is, you need to.
Yeah, thank you. That's why Liang, my director, was like, "Yes, I've been saying like she's like this guy needs to be." So I really appreciate like all that you're doing. And yeah, thank you so much for having me. And like I said, I think that hopefully this is just the start for both of us for bigger and better things in the future. So thank you.
I appreciate that, and thank
Yeah, why
you
not?
for
Yeah,
coming on.
whatever. Yeah.
Well, I hope you have a great day, and thanks for talking with me. It
Oh
was
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of fun the last 2 hours.
Oh yeah. And so I'm like, oh shoot, I hope I didn't keep you. But yeah, thank you so much. And I really, again, I really appreciate what you're doing. So thank you.
No, it's no problem. It was nice talking to you, Matt.
Nice talking to you too. All right, I'll talk to you later, Angel.
I will talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Yeah.